Welcome to F1 Manager 2023 Hungarian Grand Prix.
Welcome to the beautiful Three Springs Valley, here in Hungary. You're joining us in Budapest for the Hungarian Grand Prix. Budapest was formerly three cities, and today they're all coming together to kick off what we hope will be a thrilling weekend of racing. What on paper could be a low-speed circuit is turned flat out by modern Formula One cars. The Hungaroring's short lap means track position is essential in qualifying, and drivers will need to be careful of track limits throughout the race.
Red Bull have outscored their rivals to be at the top of the constructors' table right now. And at the season halfway point, time is starting to run out for teams to push ahead.
Okay then, let's get to it.
In practice one then, 18th and 19th for us, standard. Look at the powertrain wear. We're using this powertrain to its death in practice sessions and just in practice sessions, because you wouldn't want to use this in the race, that's for sure. You'd get no points for sure. It is ATA qualifying this weekend,
yeah,
that is something. As George is on a 97% setup and Lewis on a 93% setup. And at the end of P3 we're 19th and 20th, which is what it is. Yeah, we're basically sandbagging until quality. So yeah, let's keep pushing, let's give it everything. Hopefully we can get another pole position.
Hello and welcome to the much anticipated qualifying session.
Alternative tyre allocation rules applied this time round. That means each team has to tackle Q1 on the hard compound tyres, Q2 on mediums, and Q3 on soft.
Karun, if we could perhaps talk about Lewis for a moment. How do you think he's feeling?
You can tell that we've been watching a driver with real confidence here, and it makes a difference, I can tell you from my own experience.
What does today have in store? Only time will tell.
So at the end of Q1, going out for our first run now. Dan's turn one was nice on the brakes, smooth through the corner, rolling the car through the apex really well. Down towards the bottom end of the track, low elevation, then we suddenly rise up as we get to 4, through the fast left, now up through the right of turn 5, through the 6 and 7 chicane, rising up through 8, 9, 10 and 11, back down towards turn 12, then towards 13.
We have a checkered flag now.
Slight dip, not quite the same dip on the F1 game, rising up through 14, up to line. What's it going to be? I'd probably butchered the corner names. Lewis P6, George 14th. George? You alright, buddy? Bruh. Bottas going to knock us out? No, we're fine. Bottas does knock out Piastri, but we are fine. That was on the hard tyres as well, by the way, because that was in Q1. Now we're on the mediums in Q2 at the end of the session, or towards the end of the session anyway. As George, going down to the bottom of turn 3 as I save the game, because, you know, why leave this in the edit, or why not leave this in the edit, because you all want to watch me save the game. Now down to the bottom of the track, up to turn 4, pinned, nice, green and purple for Lewis even. So hopefully this is where the car starts to get stronger on the mediums and the softs, because those are most probably the race tyres, or it will be the mediums and the hards. Because I know we'll have 2 sets of mediums for the race. I know that for sure. As we come up to the line, here we go. What's going to be George P2, or Lewis P2, George P3. Now 4th and 5th, but that'll be fine as we end the session. We're not going to get knocked out. Perez is out though, that's huge, and Gasly, Albon, Norris and Bottas are also out, but those are the usuals. And then one last run in Q3 on our set of the soft compound tyres, going down through the bottom of the track as there is a flash, up, down, Ocon's at the top, through turn 4, Round turn 5, Lewis getting purple. He wants to win, much like at Silverstone in real life, which was an epic win, by the way. Yeah, if you want to watch these live, make sure you follow me on Twitch, MegaGamer8888 on Twitch. And make sure you like and subscribe here for more F1 Manager stuff if you're loving it, because I will be pre-ordering F1 Manager 24. And up to line, George goes P1, Lewis goes P2. They're separated by 600ths. Can anyone beat us? Is Max coming across the line? Yeah, Max is on that. Who will beat us? Leclerc can't do it. Stroll can't do it. Will Max be able to do it? How's he done us by 3/10 then? Sainz, will he be able to do anything? What's he able to do up to the line? He can't improve. Hulkenberg can't improve. It's P2 and 3 on the grid for race day in Hungary.
It's race day, and final preparations are underway.
The heart may be in Budapest, but the racing soul is right here. Decades of F1 history saturate every turn of the Hungaroring, including the 1989 Grand Prix, where Nigel Mansell bullied his way from a P12 start to an ultimate victory.
Now, in terms of George Russell, Karun, how do you think he's going to be feeling going into this race?
To be honest, I think they're exceeding expectations and impressing a lot of people with their performances.
I wonder then what the Hungarian Grand Prix has in store for us on this occasion.
Strategy will be 2 non-very pushing stints on mediums, but we have space to push if we need to, and an aggressive stint on hards. George's aggressive stint is at the end, Lewis's is in the middle.
It's a fantastic atmosphere at the Hungaroring as we prepare for 70 laps of the Hungarian Grand Prix. And here's George Russell, focusing on the race ahead of him.
It's a P2 start for them, an excellent opportunity, and no doubt they'll be looking to grab it with both hands.
But remember, anything can happen in Formula One. And here we go, with the Hungarian Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go!
And indeed it is lights out and away we go, making sure they're both on high overtake aggression. Going down into turn 1, Lewis and George, they're fighting each other, they're not fighting Max. That's not great teamwork, I'll be honest. Lewis is trying to get George, the master of Budapest, 8 wins around this circuit, wants a 9th. He got a 9th round Silverstone, both in the game and in real life. He wants another one. George holds him off, and on lap 3 at the top of the circuit, round turn 4, up through turn 5, down towards 6 and 7. George wants the race lead through 8, then 9, then 10, and come down to 11. George just can't seem to get it at the moment, but if he stays behind for long enough, he will get the DRS.
Here's the replay. Now
As it thinks Verstappen's overtaking Russell, so I'm going to watch it just to get a screenshot for the thumbnail. Which is why, if you're wondering why I watch some of these pointless replays and skip them, it's because I'm getting a replay for the thumbnail. But I might as well show you it because it's a bit of action. As George down in towards turn 2, now turn 3, can't get it, on lap 7 though, goes for a lunge, goes for a very, very good dive. Excuse the voice, dive, and he's up to P1.
And we've got a new...
Things you love to see. Now Lewis can go flying around the outside, what a move that is. Lewis would break the record for Michael Schumacher for most wins at a single circuit to 9 at 2 tracks if he wins here in real life and in the game, which hopefully he can do. Virtual safety car though. Virtual safety car ends on lap 15 as Lewis goes for George. They're fighting with each other, but as long as they're sharing DRS, because we all know sharing DRS is the way to win on this game. It's the way to mostly gain time. But not fighting through the corners, guys, come on. As Leclerc is pretty punchy. Verstappen's slow for the moment, he's not as quick as what he was at the start of the race, I don't know why that would be. But we just need to make sure we're optimising the stint, getting everything out of it we can and not fighting too much. As George goes for Lewis, gets him, and Max has got Leclerc again and he's going to try and go for Lewis. But we're not going to allow that, as George has nearly got Lewis out of the DRS. which he has, but Lewis is kept from George, so that might bring troubles. As now Lewis is getting George on lap 23, and George is into the pits for a set of mediums, as it's now Hamilton's optimal pit lap for his set of hards. So in comes George Russell. 3.2 second pit stop, probably had to wait for the geezer in front. Not amazing. Verstappen's had a pit stop issue.
That front right won't tighten though.
That is huge. Oh, what, mate, that's about an 9 second stop. Got no chance coming out in front of Lewis as George comes out. Lewis comes into the pits a lap later for a set of hard compound tyres. Now, here's my theory. If we're pushing the hards and they can take the temps, as Lewis has a slightly quicker stop than George, they might be faster than the mediums. As Leclerc sets the fastest lap as he went and got us and done us in the second stint. And Perez has had a pit stop issue as well. Red Bull having a nightmare. And it's, oh, this one's on wheel off this time. That's not great. It's not a good stop. And there's a red flag. Red flag on lap 25.
Now look, here we head into turn 2. And that... The restart is moments away as the race continues.
Lewis has gone on the hards. He's going to do a hard, which is going to be really aggressive and really pushing. George is going to do a medium hard or a medium. No, George has to do a medium hard. Lewis might go back to the mediums, but I think they're going to be faster. So honestly, I think it's going to be hard for Lewis and medium hard for George. It was a big crash. Yeah, as we're now on lap 27, fiercely. Alright, never mind. We're fighting Leclerc. That's what you need to know. Down the inside into turn 12. Run it outside of 13, trying to get DRS. No, we get DRS for 14. George and Lewis are now fighting. See, this is what I mean. You can be more aggressive on the tyres. Lewis is quicker. The hards are better.
Understood.
Because you can push them. You can't push the mediums. The mediums are slower. I'm going to get George to try and conserve to let Lewis through, but that's only because Lewis is quicker. I'm not sabotaging George to prove that the hards are quicker. The hards are just genuinely quicker and I don't want them fighting, and if I tell him to not fight teammate, he'll lose like 1.5 seconds. Although, yeah, and Hamilton's now got Leclerc, and George is now trying to do the same thing, pushing the ERS, and he got him around outside turn 3. As Carlos Sainz has had a pit stop issue. All of our rivals are having pit stop issues. This is good for us.
Oh, but they have trouble releasing the car.
That's also about an 8-second pit stop. As Lewis has gone and cleared these two by 3.5 seconds. This is what I mean. The hards are so much faster. As George is coming in this lap. And Leclerc stayed out, so that would mean George is surely ahead of Charles. If Charles is not pitting, we're going to get the better strategy. On to hards we go. 3.0 second stop. They've honestly been so bad all year. I thought by this point we'd have them down to 2.4 or 2.5 at the start of the season. George is just going to be behind Norris, but he can stay pushing from there. Round the outside he goes. There's Leclerc as well. Push to make sure you get past him. He's got past Norris. He's now pushing down towards turn 2. And he's up past Leclerc. As Lewis Hamilton now comes into the pit lane on lap 48 for another set of the hard compound tyres. On they go. It's a slow start, but it's not as slow as what the others have had as I decide to save the game. Just because if the case it crashes, we've pit both cars, so we don't need to do anything else now. As Lewis is on his way out, he's not far in front. He has lost quite a bit of his gap, but he's still ahead, which is the key thing. But he's now slowing George down because his tyres aren't warm, to the point where George might be getting overtaken and Lewis might be sabotaging George accidentally here, which he has done because Leclerc's now quicker. Now Lewis is slowing Leclerc down, so he's going to get around the outside. He's going to go all the way down the inside. George is behind. Now he's ahead as he had a bit alongside, so Leclerc had to leave him space. Hamilton's going to try and get Magnussen. Then it's 11 seconds to Verstappen. George with a dive bomb up past Leclerc, the reigning world champion versus George Russell. George is trying to hold it. He's pushing forward down to turn 4. That's where our car seems strongest versus others. He's got the place. Lewis has now got Magnussen. We're now pushing down towards the final corner at turn 14, down the DRS straight. Lewis will have DRS. Leclerc didn't quite get him instantly. He's now fighting Russell again, and George's going to have to lift the place. But he's going to get the place back as soon after Leclerc. So that's fastest lap. Now Leclerc's going for it again. Now George should get him back again as Lewis now takes the lead on lap 55. And now he's just got to push, pull the tyres down, and that'll be it. George now gets Verstappen, and hopefully Verstappen can hold up Leclerc. Although they are holding each other up. George has now got Lewis somehow. I don't know where that's come from. Max is now pitting onto a set of softs. Depending on where he comes out, he could do a stint on them. He could do quite the shift on them. He could go up. I reckon, no, he's quite far back. I reckon he can finish P4 though. As Lewis and George are now ferociously fighting. That's what I wanted to say earlier. As Charles is 5 seconds behind. They've genuinely eked out quite a big gap now. And they've got quite a gap to push forward and to keep doing this and just fight their own race. It's now gone up to 8.5. Yeah, you guys can just race how you want. Medium overtake aggression, it doesn't matter now, they're not going to catch. 7 laps to go, George going around the outside, he's going to get the second spell DRS, he's going to get ahead of Lewis. And Lewis on the second spell DRS on lap 65 is going to get past. And on lap 66, George going to get past, but I think at some point we're going to have to let Lewis past, although Lewis done the work himself. P1 for Lewis, 3 seconds behind George Russell. Lewis gains many points on Max in the Drivers' Championship. We gain many points on Ferrari in the Constructors' Championship. We are here to fight for both championships, and we're not taking any less.
Wow, what a fantastic drive from Lewis Hamilton.
It was a truly excellent win, with everything working together for the team and driver.
Well, they've been waiting for this, haven't they? And it's only right that they make the most of it. The highly decorated record breaker from Stevenage once again taking to the podium.
There's further delight for the team as they get to see both drivers up there together.
And as far as those three are concerned, well, they'll be leaving Budapest hungry for more. And as proceedings start to wind down here, what will Mercedes have made of this result, Karoon?
I doubt they could be much happier. A win and a podium place. What a great way to round out the weekend.
And that then marks the end of our time here in Hungary.
Next time, the teams will be adding another year to the legend of Spa-Francorchamps. Anything can happen at the Belgian Grand Prix.
Lewis claims his 9th win around the Hungarian Grand Prix, making it an all-time record. He's won 18 races at just 2 tracks. That is an obscene stat. 18 races at 2 tracks, 9 single circuit twice. As we finally take the lead of the Constructor Championship for the first time, and Lewis closes on the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Pit stops weren't great today, but they weren't as terrible as what they used to be. Yeah, make sure to like and subscribe and follow me on Twitch, MegaGamer8888 on Twitch. We're Rear Wing Research Complete. for the next season. So like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.